Again, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight and listening to us politicians once again ask for your vote. Tonight was actually this afternoon was one of those days when you drive up from, in my particular case, from Marathon to Islamorada. And when I drive from Marathon to Key West, it really reminds me of why I fell in love with the Keys 25 years ago. I arrived here 25 years ago this month as a single guy on a sailboat who fell in love with the Keys. And I also would like to take the opportunity to thank my wife, who I met down here, who I recognized that she had a background in the restaurant business, but my background is drilling and exploration in the oil industry. How about that at this time? And I can tell you why we don't need to have drilling and exploration in the local state waters of Florida. And I think the example exists out there in the shores of Louisiana and the other Gulf Coast. 12 years ago, and as I look out over the audience, when I was campaigning and knew no one outside of this now city of Marathon, I was scared to death to come up and make presentations, and I found out later that the Key Largo, Islamorada area certainly is an area that I have a great deal of warmth for, in that they were instrumental in me winning my first election. I look out in the audience tonight and I recognize a large percentage of the people here and know most of the people in this room by first name. And I will state right up front that I want to thank you very much. And as Judge Tomey mentioned earlier, that so many things, he mentioned the Founders Park, did not exist 25 years ago. The incorporation movement took place when I first got here, and right before and during my election campaign. The incorporation movement was a good thing. Incorporation movement brought government closer to the local people. The local people received the interest from their newly elected representatives, the interest that was deserved, and now have so many things that weren't provided. But we have gone a long way in that 25-year period. Look at the progress that we've made. And progress costs money. We listened to the residents of Monroe County, the property owners of Monroe County, the voters of Monroe County. We provided infrastructure. We have spent hundreds of millions of dollars on necessary infrastructure. We were burdened with a $1 billion unfunded mandate. The state and the federal government said that they would stand by us shoulder to shoulder because of the unique nature and the importance of Monroe County. The residents are today, as Norm Higgins mentioned, sharing the majority burden. The state has authorized, i.e. dangled, $200 million of support before us, which has not come. The federal government has dangled $100 million in front of us, of which a portion of it has come. The state has stepped up in certain instances. Certainly going back to when Ken Sorensen was there, we were provided with a decent amount of subsidy, which has moved these projects forward. I want to say, going back 12 years ago, two things that I am very proud of voting for was the Key Largo Wastewater Independent District and also the Key Largo Independent Fire District. Both of them have done tremendous jobs in what we have proposed for them to do 10 years ago. Progress is something that also costs money. The parks, the recreation that we address, going back to the Key Largo Park, the infrastructure of providing modern facilities for fire, the North Key Largo Fire Station, that we supported and built, the Murray Nelson Center, which we supported and built, the Big Pine Fire Station we supported and built, the Marathon Park, which is now a city, that we supported and built, the marina that we acquired back in unincorporated times when Marathon and the Marathon Economic Development Council went before the Monroe County Commission and asked for support. And we listened to the residents, the property owners, and the voters. And these are the things that they wanted, and the county stepped up to the plate and provided them. Those have costs associated with them that now we're having to deal with. So please recognize that as we progress, as we provide those services that were requested by the voters, the property owners, and the residents of Monroe County, we now have to address the cost associated with them, and we are doing that. Over the last 3 years, we've righted our ship. We had some issues. I voted against the budget 3 times when I recognized that some of the things that we were doing were totally out of control. We have righted the ship. We have refilled our fund balances. We are in good shape. However, I just got back from the Florida Association of Counties meeting in Tampa last week. We're not going to have to worry about cutting the budget because we balanced the budget for the last 2 years with stimulus money. And that is money that we no longer have. So those cost cuts will be coming. We are in some dire situations here, and we're going to have to adjust to it. I predict that we will have further costs pushed down by the state to the county that we will have to discuss and deal with. It's an automatic, guys, and it's coming. And we're starting the budget season. We are going to have to make some very difficult choices. Last year we achieved rollback. We are going to do, well, it wasn't rollback last year, it was roll up because we had to increase our millage to generate the same amount of money because of property values that we lost to generate the same amount of money that we used to operate government on the year before. We will be in that same situation this year. We are going to be in some very difficult situation. There's even the discussion of asking for raises for employees. We have not given raises for 3 years to our employees. However, in a prudent manner, I think that the employees, when faced with, do you want a job or do you want to run the risk of losing your job if we make wrong decisions by providing raises? I think we need to continue to be very prudent fiscal. I solicit your vote on August the 24th. Go to my website, www.georgeneugent.com, and on August the 24th, I ask for your support once again. Thank you very much.